Everybody, this is Andy Ogles. Welcome to episode 4 of Restoring the Republic. It'll be a quick episode, but an important episode. We've got my interaction with Biden at the State of the Union and some of his comments. We've got the mailbag. We have breaking news out of Colorado that impacts Lauren Boebert. And then John Carlos said he has a surprise for me. We'll see what that is. So, going to the State of the Union. So a lot of people have asked, how in the world did you get that seat? How were you the first person that Joe Biden talked to? Well, I always sit in that seat, and that actually goes back to the speaker's race where I'm a freshman. I don't really know where to sit per se. And quite frankly, our kids, mine and Monica's kids, were allowed on the floor with us. And so we had our little one. And so I'm thinking I'm going to be center aisle, back row. So in case our little one needs to go to the restroom, I can sneak out and not be noticed. Well, the reality was, and I didn't know, is that all of the C-SPAN cameras are defaulted to that seat and its counterpart just across the aisle. So as a result, I was there in the center of action with the scuffle with there's thousands of images of me and my family or my children out there because of that interaction. But it just kind of became my seat. And then my counterpart colleague from Knoxville, Tim Burchett, sits in front of me. And a lot of the Freedom Caucus members congregate back there. It's a place where members talk and, we have vote recommendations and that thing. But going forward to my interaction with Joe Biden. So I'm sitting there, he comes in, and I was wearing this. So a lot of people said, well, what did you point to on your lapel? So I had it over here. It was right down there, and it simply says Laken Riley. And when the president walked in, I was very respectful, pleasantries. Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for being here. But then I said, I want you to look at my lapel. I want you to look at this pin. It's for Laken Riley. And his response was, he repeated what I said, Laken Riley, and then he goes, I love your pin. He literally didn't know what I was talking about, which was shocking. It was appalling. I said, you, sir, need to do something about this, or something along those lines. His people pulled him away at that point. Tim Burchett grabs him, starts talking to him. But of that's why, I reached down, I shook his hand, I pointed to my lapel, but I wanted him to understand the consequences of an open and porous southern border. This young woman is gone because of Joe Biden. Just last week, there was a 14-year-old girl in Virginia that was raped by an illegal. Last week, there was a 14-year-old girl in Louisiana that was raped by an illegal. Those were preventable had we had a closed border and not this open border that Joe Biden is allowed to happen, where you have millions of people coming here and they're murdering, they're raping, they're robbing, the drugs are being sold, fentanyl overdoses are through the roof. It's got to stop. And the president is responsible. He could shut down the border right now if he chose to. But he's choosing illegals over the Lakens of the world, of our country. It's that simple. It's that cut and dry. So he went on to talk about, I think we have a clip. Cue the clip.
Look, what we need is just an orderly process at the border, they're not vermin, they're not scum, they're not people who are all criminals coming. It's just...
Well, I want to correct you, Mr. President. If you come into this country illegally, you are in violation of the law. That makes you an illegal. That makes you a criminal. Your reasons for coming here may be altruistic. Maybe you want a better life for you, your family, your children, but you're still here in violation of the law. If I go to Canada illegally, I'm there as an illegal. If I go to Mexico illegally, I'm there as an illegal. In fact, both Canada and Mexico have stricter immigration laws than we do. So the president, again, instead of speaking to the parents of Laken Riley, of the young girls that were raped in Virginia and Louisiana, he's pandering to people who are here illegally. Why? Because he's flooding Arizona and New Mexico with individuals that he hopes will vote in the presidential race. This on the short term is about him securing the White House. It's about power. And then more nefarious is that when you look forward to the census in 10 years, every 10 years we have a census, they count every person in this state. Where else are they sending illegal immigrants? To the states that are losing population. So California and New York, after the next census, they should lose members of Congress. But what is this administration doing? They're making up for that population flight with the illegal immigrants so that States like Tennessee, states like Florida, states like Texas, conservative states that are growing fast will not gain members of Congress in the future. This is a direct, quite frankly, a criminal offense when you consider that it's affecting the census and reapportionment of Congress. These people don't like you. They're choosing illegals over your daughters. They're choosing illegals and power over your family. And I, for one, have had enough. That's why I ran for Congress. That's why I'm fighting like hell. And that's why I will continue to fight. Next clip.
Commercial on Snickers bars. You get charged the same amount, and you got about, 10% fewer Snickers in it. Look.
And again, pandering, right? Instead of talking about illegals, instead of the devastation that's been wrought to this country, all the overdoses that have taken place, Lake and Riley, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, what is he doing? He's making fun of the fact that shrinkflation is taking place. He's making fun of the fact that American families today are struggling. He's making fun of the fact that you make less today than you did under the Trump administration. He is making fun of you, instead of addressing the fact that Bidenomics is a failed policy, that immigration, the wide open border, which is why we impeached Mayorkas, is a failed policy that is forever changing this country. So with that, we're fighting to save this republic. We're fighting to close this border. We impeached Mayorkas, and I would say Joe Biden should be impeached right now. That's why I offered articles of impeachment. And quite frankly, when you consider what he's trying to do with the Electoral College and allowing illegals to vote and the potential for the census, it's treasonous. But I digress. With that, we'll move to the mailbag, but breaking news out of Colorado. So Ken Buck is the sitting member of Congress for Colorado's 4th District. If you remember, Lauren Boebert moved from her district to Colorado 4, so there's multiple candidates in this race. Well, now Ken Buck has announced that at the end of next week, he's going to be resigning from Congress. This should set up a special election. So now we'll see what is the process going forward, what will that date be. But as Republicans, we lose another seat and our margin grows even thinner as we go forward. So that's breaking news. This will continue to evolve, I do believe. There's always the chance that he could pull back that resignation. But if you hear something in the news about Ken Buck, about Lauren Boebert, or Colorado 4, that's what it's about. So jumping to the mailbag and then the surprise, whatever that is. We've got Ed out of Arrington. I won't say your last name because it's kind of, it may identify who you are. Look, I'm with you. This is about illegal immigration and them getting benefits, specifically Medicare. I'm with you. Illegals should not come into this country and get the same benefits that American citizens get. I'm sorry. I'm not getting free whatever in Canada if I go there. They're going to kick me out of the country. And that's what we need to do. That's why I have the Send Them Back Act. Every illegal, they're illegal, they're a violation of the law. Joe Biden, you can say it, they're illegal, should be deported. The Send Them Back Act, which is something that I filed, which should be moved, should be voted on, and should pass, would deport every illegal that came into this country under the Joe Biden administration. It would start to reverse the course of this invasion that's taken place under Joe Biden. He will go down in history as literally one of the worst presidents, one of the most devastating impacts on our economy. His foreign policy is a disaster, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, Iran, Israel, Hamas, Israel, etc. All of this you can lay at the feet of Joe Biden. So with that, the 2024 election is all important. And the surprise. The Oscars. We don't need to talk about the Oscars. I don't care about the Oscars. Whoopity-doo about the Oscars. The world is on fire. Russia's invading Ukraine. Iran, Hamas attacked Israel. China wants to invade Taiwan. The economy's in shambles. I don't care about the Oscars, and neither should you. With this, we're fighting to save the Republic. Sign up, join us, send us your letters. We read them all. And with that, my name is Andy Ogles. It's an honor to serve you.